fun and stable. 2 words to sum up my 2006. A decent year overall, made possible in part by steady business and financial improvement, and filled with great times with family and friends.
Join me now for a look back at some of the more memorable events of 2006.
We kick off the year with a very special event, as our new nephew, David Andrew Lerner, is born on January 15th to Daddy Glenn and Mommy Sarah.
My focus on healthy living continues, with daily morning walks and trips to the gym several times a week. A recent doctor visit reveals high blood pressure and high cholesterol.
And so I start a new medication and aggressively cut back on the omnipresent sodium. In March, I traveled to Atlanta to work with my friend Richard on developing a new presentation training video to be sold in an upcoming conference. During my week-long stay, I suggest to Rudy that we should get a second home here. Still, my 7 days in the Peachtree State produces an insignificant 3 paragraphs of training text. While in Atlanta, I go to brush my teeth. The toothpaste tastes unusual.
Not enough minty freshness.
I look at the tube and discover that I've just brushed my teeth with Gynacorp, an anti-itch cream also used for vaginal yeast infections. While in Atlanta, I meet with Presentation Pro to discuss merger possibilities, but favorable conversations turn dim when Rudy returns a few weeks later to investigate the region and winds up in the emergency room of a local hospital with a sharp abdominal pain that turns out to be a kidney stone.
So, we decided not to move to Atlanta and we decided to stay in South Florida.
I'm glad you're feeling better.
Me too.
Wild adventurers. In June, my friend Josie and I check out this office building behind us. It's after hours, but there's a computer company that we want to check out on the 4th floor. And so we go inside and we enter the elevator, and the elevator goes up to the 3rd floor, and then it stops, and it goes down, and it goes up and down, and we realize that we are stuck inside this office building. So we use our cell phones to call for help, but we're not getting any cell phone reception. And we use the emergency call button, but that's not working either. And we realize we're in trouble here. So after 45 minutes of figuring out what to do, Josie lifts me onto his shoulders and we burst through the emergency hatch at the top of the elevator and climb through the emergency shaft to make our way to a dramatic rescue to safety.
Our gay social group, Venture Out, continues its steady growth, driven by a powerful new website and steady media attention.
We collected over 50 toys at our holiday party, and by the end of the year, we are approaching 1,000 members. The group has resulted in new friendship for us and many others.
Government at its finest. An agent from the Internal Revenue Service calls me recently, curtly demanding to know why I haven't taken action on my back tax issue.
I'm setting up an arrangement for the $16,000 that I owe.
You don't owe $16,000. You owe $143,000.
I insist that huge amount is an IRS error that was corrected long ago. It turns out that the IRS has lost my 2003 and 2004 tax returns, and they need to be resubmitted. After seeing Al Gore's movie, An Inconvenient Truth, I am inspired to write a letter to my congresspeople on the topic of global warming. Despite my passionate plea of pending doom, all I get back is one generic form letter from Senator Bill Nelson.
Welcome to our beautiful garden, donned in October for Kevin's birthday. We have over 300 beautiful plants.
What are you talking about?
What are you doing here?
What are you doing with this garden here? It's a waste of money.
Not at all. It's an investment for the house.
An investment? An investment.
In August, I traveled to Washington, D.C. to speak at the Toastmasters International Convention. My largest audience to date, nearly 400 people attend the 50-minute speech. The event is a commercial success, as I sell over 50 copies of my new Power Presentations training DVD. In August, Rudy and I, and 30,000 others, have an amazing time at Madonna's Confessions Tour concert. The 49-year-old pop icon still puts on one hell of a show, singing songs from old to new. 2 months later, for my 36th birthday, Mom treats me to see another legend, Barbara Streisand. But I must confess, our discount $300 high-altitude seats afford us a disappointing experience of a 1-inch tall diva, fully scripted and fully telepromptered. In mid-December, I traveled to New York City to produce a high-profile investor presentation for Hilton Hotels. After 3 16-hour workdays in a row, the project is a great success. But the Delta flight home is less simple. After paying $35 to change my 9 p.m. flight to an earlier 5 p.m. flight, I then discovered it's delayed 3 hours, and then cancelled altogether. Thanks to some BSing and some Jedi mind power tricks, I am rebooked on my original 9 p.m. flight, now delayed till 11 p.m., and finally arrived back in Fort Lauderdale at 1 a.m. And so this fun and stable 2006 dissolves into 2007, full of opportunity and intention. Indeed, the year ahead is filled with great promise, more travel, improved success with the presentation team and venture out, and more great times with family and friends. Thanks for being part of my life. Make it a great 2007.